Okay, good morning, and thanks for joining this London session with HourGlass. As usual, just start with looking at Forex Factory. We've got some USD news, US dollar at 230, red flag. So we need to keep an eye on that if we're trading this afternoon. And let's go over to our currency strength meter. Just refresh that. US dollar 3 bars, UJ is what I'm going to be looking at. I've just taken a 3-minute trade at on the hour, and the payout was 78% on that. So 6 bars. It was 1 bar this morning, so it's when I was looking on the charts early on. So it's rallied very strongly. US dollars dropped back. The Australian dollars also dropped back. That was very strong. So that's turned as well. I don't trade these live session pairs. 3 London pairs are Euro, GBP and Swiss franc, CHF, that one there, which I never trade at all anyway. So come over now to our HourGlass, and you can see the previous trade is a call now at 289, but it was a put, what we call a sell, a put in this off the hour, and I just took it just slightly before where the candle, previous candle at 58.5 minutes past was going down and wicking down. I'll show you the logic on that, although you can see the trend is very strongly up, but you learn these niceties as you get to know your pairs and the timing and looking at what each trade is doing. So the 200 moving average says it's green. That means price is buying. The pair we're trading is USD JPY. It's 46 US dollar to Japanese yen 3. But the currency strength meters on a daily average, which is why it's showing the Japanese yen far more strongly. And you can see it's just pushed up now at coming up to the 10 past candle, 5-minute candles. Each 5-minute section is what we trade. So that red one is that red one there is the one that I took, that one, that little retrace in there. So if I show you that on here, why I like the look of it, and as I said, it's something a little bit different, which I don't usually do, but I could see these 3 candles had come up. I also had something called quarter theory here. Sorry, at this upper level, an hourly, and then my white line is a daily. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's 1 candle in this daily. It's pushed up further, but that price, that line there was where it was when I marked it. So what I do, you can't mark active price, but I mark the highest level. And on this daily as well, I'll just tidy up my line down here. I'll just take one of these. It's high and low, open and close. Blue candles are calls or buys, and the green, some people may use red, are sells or puts. So I could see it was at an hourly line there on, and look below, it's 10 AM UK time, 11 my time here, and it came up to that hourly at 305 Now I pressed the button at about 293 where HourGlass called it as a put. Come back to the 5 minute, but the broker slippage, it put me in at 283. It wasn't a very good entry, but the reason I like the retrace was because of this 250 level, which is called quarter theory. And you can see that that was enough for me in 3 minutes. That's a 5 minute candle because I got in just at the end of the previous one. So I had 3 minutes in the trade. So even though it retraced at 283, I still won the trade. So that worked out well. So if I show you on the 1 minute, so sorry about the dog. No, 258 there, and you see there's a pivot level. So at 283, 1, 2, 3 minutes down, and then I'm out the trade and I've won the trade. So I was just trading that little turn there. Now, when you're new, you want to avoid getting in before the hour because it can it can just bust on through. But I did like the retrace back to the 250. It did indeed do that, and that worked out okay. So 12 minutes past, we're looking for our next trade at 15 minutes. Now these are my 15-minute lines. So you want to mark the 2 previous candles. So we've got the current one, just wicked down just below. So it came down to 244. That was the lowest. This is where it's opened, 301. And again, that's on their hourly. So that's a very, very good line of support and resistance. Nice solid buy candle call there on the 15 minute. And I'm just going to just mark the 2 previous ones. And that's the highest that it reached. And there's a red pivot there. And it came back to this hourly and it's coming up to my daily line at 360 at the moment. So at this stage with the US dollar, as I say, we've got a daily average on the currency strength meter, US dollar 3 bars to 6 on the Japanese yen. If we look on HourGlass, it's US dollar 44 because this is a current moment in time, 5 minutes, to Japanese yen 6. That's just gone up from 4 to 6, giving us a put at 337. So if we come back here and look at where 337 is, that's where the candle is, 344, showing your price on trading view. So we know that price is moving up because it took this hourly line with a big buy candle. We have got that red pivot there, which means a lower high has been formed. And it's pushing on through. So the strong pivots, like this green tick, show you where it's giving you a higher low. So there's a red tick, and what happens after is it starts to drop, and that's because it's saying that new lows are being formed. But what we've got here is H bull, standing for hidden bull, which means directional trend is still up. So just put it on the 15 minutes and we can see what price is doing. So it's taken that quarter point level, gone up. Sorry, that's one of my hourly lines. This is the quarter point. It's come up to the quarter point, broken through it, retested, and carried on up. And this is its next one if it carries on up to that level, 114,500. Now we don't know if it's going to carry on up to that level. But when I did go out to the daily, you can see, you know, this massively strong candle. It's just, I did look at this just before I came on the session. Let's see if I can show it to you. So you can see it reached exactly at this, it's reached exactly at this 359 level. Not until it was nearly 4 years ago. So back at 2018. So it hasn't been this high for a long time. And there it is in 2017, all at that level. So it really is at one of the peaks. And look at that huge move up last 2 weeks, last week or so. So that's gone up. Oh, just measure that from there to there. It's 250 pips. Or really from there. So very strong on the US dollar at the moment. But what we trade right down this lower level, we are looking at the overall trend, because we need to know when price transitions, because when it transitions, you can't really trade, because you'll have the currency strength in your favor, the 200 moving average, which is this blue line, in your favor, but price in its pattern may have finished a move, decide it's peaking out, and then be transitioning backwards. So either you have to decide that you're taking a retrace, or you wait for it to reach a major level, break down through and retest. And there's certain things to help us with this. So for example, this thing called hidden bull, you see these are pointing down. That tells us the directional trend is still up, which you can see quite clearly that it is, because I've got this 200 times 5-minute candles showing me strongly that the longer trend has been up. I'm just going to magnify this again. We're at 18 minutes past. And I've just missed the 15 past, a look at a 15-minute move. And then my next move potentially will be half past. So with the currency strength saying it's so much stronger, it can be difficult to take these trades, but we use something called market timing. And that will be the half hour. So on the hour, the 15-minute, which is the current candle. Now it's just wicking off that level. It's done 2 blue candles up. So there could be an opportunity for a call or a buy. We know it's at one of its highest levels for several years, but that doesn't mean to say, because there were some higher levels, that it doesn't want to push on up to the next quarter point. It's now moved. It's moved 11 pips and it's taking a daily level. So it's nearly halfway past that quarter point. It's gone up so strongly in London. So let's see what our HourGlass is telling us. Now, when you look at these algorithms on any of the scanners, we've got a good array of scanners to suit different styles of learning visually. These are what you call algorithms based on maths. So once it hits the Bollinger Bands, it is going to start to add up a point to say, I want to come back down. But you have to decide if you're just getting a little retrace and you're taking a retrace because you're against the currency strength meter 41, which is the base currency, as we call it, which is what we're trading. We're trading the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. So there's one US dollar is going to buy you 114.356 yen. That's what it means. This is on timer. So there's 4 minutes 33 left of this candle, and it gave us a call at 352 and it's at 353. So you're going to say, but Sarah, if it's moving so strongly, why hasn't it moved very much? Well, the reason is because it's hitting a daily line, which is a very strong line of support and resistance. So when price reaches these major levels, which are like 15-minute or the quarter theory, which is an indicator we put on, or an hourly line or a daily, then price is going to hover around that level. It's also going to retest it several times before it moves one way or the other. But price can only move 2 ways, well, 3 really. It can do a break and a retest to the upside for a call or a buy, and it could do a break and a retest to the downside and start to transition down for the put or the sell. So we're using these to help us make our decision. We've got hidden bull, but it's moved quite far away now. we've got our lines leveling off, and we've got a retrace here. But can you see the candle is changing from blue to green? Because we know how strong this move is up. Look, from half past the hour, 2 candles up back to the 15-minute level, then 3 candles up, a retrace back to the hour. That was the 45-minute candle. It just bust on through. And then there's the 15-minute, just a little retrace. So it does look to me like it's still going up, but normally I would wait for the 30-minute to see if, because price will normally reverse at half an hour and an hour. So I'm wondering if we should try and take a reversal, but if we at half hour, but if we do, the safest way to do that is to wait for a break and then a retest back to that level, and then price drops because it likes to touch levels several times. See, it's just stalling out on that 344, 359 there, 362. So that was a call at 352, and it's just trying to break through. These lines are pointing up, they're above the red, they're well above our 50% line here on the strength index and above the green. And for us to take a put or a sell, we'd wait for it to come below the red, that break and that retest. You can just get in when it breaks through, depends on your patience. That's the safest way to do it. The third way price moves is consolidation. It'll just range sideways. Now we can trade that if you've got even Stevens, where it's just equal strength currency in binary, you know, because we're just trading the little points at the end. So if I show you on Trading View here, the 371, we're just trading. This is slightly different than other currency pairs because it's the Japanese yen, so the decimal point is slightly different, but we're just trading. All we're interested in is that 373. That's the little bit that we're trading. In Forex terms, that would be 3.6 pips, and that little smaller one is called a pipette, which is 1/10 of a pip. And that's how you look at it. So you can see it's still on that daily level, but I'm come down to the 1 minute. I've got a big red resistance pivot showing there. So, and it's stalled off this level for really about 15 minutes now. So that's a sign that it probably doesn't like this level. And on the 3 minute, it's stalled out 5 times. So that says to me at the half hour, I might look at a put on this pair. That doesn't mean to say it won't carry on up. We need to see if it's going to lose strength. Japanese yen 10 to US dollar 44. You know, you see how our momentum indicator is now touching that red line and almost pointing down. So, and it's come down now. Now, normally we'd wait until our, to be safer, that our relative strength index line comes below the 50% line when we're taking puts, because we're still above our mid line on our elastic bands. These are called Bollinger Bands. They show on the 5 minutes. They can show it to you on any time scale, and they're set to show where the turns are on price at different lengths. So the algorithm works that out on here. And you can see it's still surfing above. It's just wicked off it at the top there. And we've still got the green moving average, and we've still got price at 40 to 10. But our momentum indicator says down, which is reflecting those 3 15-minute bars there, and I'm at 25 past. Now this could be what we call a retrace, because if you look here on any of the moves, price always has to take little moves back in waves. It can't just be an upward or downward line, just you know, to be finite and have to come back eventually. So we're down at 345. I want to see how that corresponds here. It is below my daily, which is a concern at 25 past, but this is a strong currency pair. Let's just check. We are, because I want that on the highest level that price has reached. I can't put it on here at 354 because you can see the bar is moving and I've put a static line on it. So it's just to remind me where the highest that price reached, 378. And on the hourly, a strong buy candle taking both an hourly line and the 15-minute. Did try to probe down to the previous 15-minute, which was that trade I took on the hour, but it's still on its way up. We have got 3 candles up. That's another strategy we use. And here we are, 27 minutes past. I'm on the 15-minute and it's opened. The 15 minutes opened as a sell. That's 3 5-minute candles off that daily height. So a little bit of a retrace, that drop there. Come down to our 5-minute and it's come back to a blue call candle, but to take this for a call at the half hour, I'd need to see it breaking through my daily line. But in market timing, we might see a turn, but we're going against the current, against the 200 EMA, we're going against the currency strength at 377. It's more risky to take that trade, to say on the half hour or 35, because this is a strong pair, that it will carry on moving down to this 314 level, which is its next level down, to take as an area of support or resistance. So resistance here where it acts as a ceiling, support here where resistance turns into support, and vice versa. So when I talk about support, that means what line, what's the next line price is going to find to make its next move, and that's what we're looking for. So let's come back to HourGlass. Let's refresh that in case I've missed something. UJ call at 350. It's only a call score of 2. We like to take a minimum of 3. It has come, it's still relative strength, it's still above, but the arrows, the lines are pointing down. But at half past, it could turn up again. 44 to 11, Japanese yen's gained a little bit of strength there. But we do know the US dollar's been very strong. And this timer tells me I've got 22 seconds to go before the half hour. And the half hour candle is showing me that it's wicked off that daily high. But we won't know the close of the daily, of course. And it's the half hour. And it's just falling back off that area. And there's the 15-minute showing how it's fallen back and back to our 5-minute. So it's kind of in the middle, really. Bit of a difficult trade to take as a put. Let's see what HourGlass is showing us. Because to take the calls, we really want our momentum indicator to be back down at the green level and then be turning up. So I've got it going down, I've got it halfway going down on the relative strength index. I've only got a call score of 2. It's given us a call at 343 because of where the daily is at the moment, which, as I say, hasn't finalized. So it came off that was the height of the daily so far. That's all. It's not a fixed point. So because it's not got a major level, sorry about the dog, to reach, it's probably just done a little retrace and it's carrying on up. But I know that market timing price on any pair will normally turn on the half hour and want to come back. So if that's the half hour, come back to say that level, that's 11. So it's just struggling around this level at the moment. So because it's a bit in the middle of things, it's just pointing up and down. I'm going to move to one of the other pairs at the moment, or JPY. Let's refresh the screen. 34 to 13 has given us a put at 840. This one looks better. It's wicked off. It's not quite up as high as I would like. It's got a green moving average, so the Australian dollar now pushing up. So it went down just before the half hour and it's wicked off this level. So a little trade there off that 685. I'm just wondering why it's saying that. Just refresh it again. Right, that's better. So if you notice discrepancies, always refresh your screen because the price was wrong, and refreshing it to put it more, it's corrected it. So to put score of 3, but we've got 36 to 11. It's called at 840 and it's just at the 836 level, but it's right up at our Bollinger Bands, but it's just a little move in the middle there, not quite up as high as I would like. And there's our USD JPY still struggling, not deciding which way it's going, or JPY on the 5-minute. There it is. So it's tested this level. That's 589. So it's just not quite up as high as I would like it to take it for a trade. See if there's anything else I want to look at. Look at HourGlass, that's 34 Australian dollar to 44 on the Japanese yen. So Australian dollar is very strong this morning, so it's now made its turn. I was looking at it there as it moved up to that higher level. That massive candle there, this is the London opening. And since then it's done, so you can see how it's come off that Bollinger Band. It broken through the big candle, retested 5 candles down, and it's just moving average is turning green, red, green, red. So I haven't been trading this a lot this week because although I really like it, it's not as a pair, it's not been moving in a way that helps us, because you get small candles and then suddenly big moves, and that could be quite difficult to trade. So I decided to leave that alone. And the only other ones I've been looking at, I don't trade the euros and GBPs in London because they're active. Don't trade GBP anyway. USD CAD as a put, 47 to 62. It's a put score of 5 at 471. USD CAD. US dollar's just gained a little bit of strength, 471, 480. But that's quite a nice move. It's not quite below our line here. That does look like that's a nice trade, and you've got the red moving average. So USD CAD for a put, 3 minutes 40 left. It was called at 471. Let's just find it on here to show you. It's 70%. It's at, just check here that you're on the right pair. 472, 471. This is the first minute of the new 5-minute candle. I haven't taken the trade because we haven't, you know, sort of don't need to press buttons without doing the analysis, but that looked like a nice trade let's go back to it. And that score number will reduce as price makes its move. So 49 to 64 US dollar, we should be taking puts. Called at 471. Oh, sorry, this is a new one. It's given us another put 2 minutes ago. Is that right? Lost track. Doesn't really matter. 471, 463. It is moving down. I've got the red moving average. I've got these lines in the right place. This is just relative strength pointing down. You really want it coming below that 50%. We've got the momentum in the move. We've got a nice move here and a put score of 4. So that was 2 minutes to go. Put at 471. And I'm at 465 on the broker. So at 35, there's your 4. If you look below, there's our 471. So you can see that it would have been in loss 36, 37, 38. So to 39. So it's just coming back up now. So this is why you have to be a bit careful. 35, 6, 37, 38. So would have probably just won that trade. We're time-based traders, so you have to get in quite accurately. But because it was above the 50% line, when you look at something like this, see how they've got those wicks and now it's turned blue. So we had the momentum indicator pointing down, but not below our red line. It is now 470, but it's not above it's not below our 50% line yet on our strength indicator. So it's hovering, it moved up around that 470, 471 level. So 3-minute trade probably would have lost, but we try and take our trades on the half hour or on the 45. So what we want to see if we were going to trade this is that it pushes up for the 45 and then carries on, gives us that drop. So we want to see it drop below that line, come back up to it to retest it, and then like these little moves here, and then point down again. So I don't usually trade USD CAD. I'm interested to see, because it's right up near this Bollinger Band. It's off that pivot at 486, and I've never marked it up, but it's just to give you an example. We've got 5 minutes to go before the next candle, and they are what you call out of session pairs. So, and we do know US dollar's been strong today, so we could come back to that, see what it does at 45. We've got a put on UJ 49 to 14, less than a minute ago. So this is our one candle. We're in the penultimate candle before I'd take a trade at 45. And do be careful when you refresh your screen that you're looking at the right pair. UJ 47 to 14, a put at 366. So it's still hovering around that mid-level, 357. So it pushed up on the half hour. We've got a little retrace going on there at 40. So it's just dropping, but it's only a put score of 2. Haven't got the moving average in our favor there. it's telling us to take call 51 to 11. We should be taking calls. Japanese yen's 11, 13, 14. So the yen is gaining a bit in strength, and that's what's causing the dollar to waver. But it's the algorithm's giving us a put, but we don't really want to be taking puts at the moment. So that's not one we're going to do. I'll come back to or JPY. $29 to 17. It's given us a call score of 3, coming up to the 45. It's paying out at 88%. 795. Here it is on here, just off that line, 788 there. I've got 2 minutes 26 to go, so quite liking the look of this for a call on the 45-minute back at 787. It's just carrying on its move. Sometimes it, price will do that. It's not an exact science in terms of, sometimes there can still be some momentum, as we call it, in the move, but it's right below our oversold area. It's touching our 50%, but not quite. And I just want that to be pointing up. 200 moving average in our favor. The currency strength 34, the one we're trading, base currency to Japanese yen 17 in our favor and giving us a call. So, and we're above the midline on here. So I want to see a call, and I would like to see it at this level of 786. HourGlass giving us 1 minute to go. Could decide it's coming down to that 750, which is the quarter point, I think. Is that? Yes. So price does like that level. So that's coming down there. Let's see what the 1 minute. Yeah, and it's right. So I think it's going to come down to there. And so that's learning to read your indicators, because price, this is support, a break and a retest resistance, broke right through. Now coming down to break and retest, maybe carry on down, lose strength on the off this quarter theory. So that will stop me trying to take a call, even if the algorithm calls it, because I can see and I know price loves to hit these quarter point levels. It has just given me a little blue pivot there. Do consider that a touch, because that's only nearly 1 pip away. Let me look on HourGlass. AJ's a call at 763. I'll just come into that at 45, 30 seconds past into the new 45-minute candle. It gave me badish entry. I've noticed a little bit of slippage, as we call it, where you press the button, but then it slips you a bit. And let's see what happens with this. It's coming back up to that 788 level where it's been before as support, resistance, support. So it's just making its move back to there. Got that turning up. I want my relative strength index, that's turned up. I've got the moving average. I've got it very nicely off this midline, 774, and it gave us a call at 763. So I'm in this for 3 minutes and I've got 2 minutes 30 to go. So I just need it to be above this line for 2 minutes 20 seconds. That's my 200 moving average. I would have liked to have been in a little bit further down. Seven, 8, 1. So I'm looking at 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9 is where I think it will go again. 7, 8, 9. The 200 moving average is above my entry line now. 7, 8, 9 is what I'm looking for. Because that was one of those major levels. So I know price likes to, I know the band I'm trading in, and I know price likes to come and hit those levels. So I just need it to come up at least to that level and stay at that level or above before it decides it wants to drop back down to the previous level of support and resistance. So I've just got 1 minute 22 to go. And on HourGlass, you can see it's, you know, we've got everything, we've done everything we can. It called it at 763, 763. My entry was 772. 50 seconds to go. I have been posting these on my stories on Facebook. If you're watching either Les Gallagher or me on YouTube, then you'll find a join link to join our private group where you can learn all this and you can trade with us on demo. Les is an extremely experienced trader of over 10 years experience, trades several strategies highly successfully, and you can open a broker account, demo account, or a just one with just $10, and we'll teach you everything we've learned. I've been doing this since May 2018, different strategies. So I've got 10 seconds left to go. So we're going to win this trade, clear that very nicely, deep in profit, and then that will give me a click and it will flash up. So we've won that trade. There it is. And, you know, so it's just a question of you reading what you see and lining everything up. Now, and that's really taken off now. So what I would then do is put my profit from this trade onto my next trade. So I will increase that to you can do it like that or like that, you know, on this with different brokers will give you different options, and we can look at what we want to do next. So my next trade would be on the hour. So we'll carry on, just go back to our currency strength meter. So we've got US dollar. This is the daily average though. So we're in a today on the 5 minutes. So this sometimes can lag a bit behind because we know the US dollar has been strong, but the Australian dollar has been strong as well. And that's dropped back 1-1 now. And on our HourGlass, still saying Australian dollar is stronger at 31 to 13. So it did make that move up, but now it's decided it's just doing a little bit retrace back. So we'll leave that one at the moment. Let's have another look at our Australian dollar, US dollar. So it's done a break. It's doing a retest back, 29 to 49. I don't like the look of it this week and last week. It's been doing these big candles, small candles, then big moves because it's the biggest traded currency. So again, you learn these things and they remind you, you know, you can help keep you out of trade. So if there's other things to trade paying out similar or above, then I've been avoiding this anyway. Don't trade any of those or the euros, so or GJ because it's London session. Let's just see what happens on USD CAD. 47 to 56 US dollar for a put is what we wanted. that actually strengthened as we've come up to the hour, done a retrace. It's so it could be turning, because you can see that moving average moving down and prices moving up. I've got little bat ears there, but it could be that it's now coming up. Again, you learn how to recognize this. UJ for a call 2 minutes ago. So I'm quite liking, there's the relative strength index. But I wouldn't now take a trade until the hour. I know at the beginning of the session I took one 58 minutes and 29:30 seconds, but I could see what was happening on the little spikes, you know, the probes on the candles, and it was this one here, wasn't it? This one here. So I got in slightly before on a call. Sorry, on a put. So that's about it at the moment, I think. There aren't any other ones I want to trade in London. So we won that trade. I'll post that in the group. So it's just, it's kind of deciding it wants to drop a bit. So that's it from me for today. Les will be back on, no, we don't trade Mondays. The market's always setting up. So I'll be back on Tuesday morning for London. And thanks very much for joining.